You know, what I recognize is all of us, if you think about sports, most of us would love to play in a championship game. I've never been a serious athlete, although I spent most of my teens and early 20 into my 20s and even my early 30s playing basketball consistently. But never played as a team athlete. I was never a team athlete. But I always wanted to play in the playoffs. I would love to have made a buzzer beater three-pointer. I would love to have held up the championship trophy. I would love to have had my jersey held up or had my jersey retired. Most of us would love to be champions. Here's the thing. People who love being champions oftentimes don't want to go through the playoffs. Most of us don't, in many cases, want to go through the entire season that it takes playing all the best teams and beating all the best teams and overcoming injuries and setbacks and coaching issues and player issues and whatever drama that comes along with the season. Most people don't want to go through the season to get to the playoffs. What do I mean by that? If you get to a point in your life where you're winning, where you have become successful, a lot of times that's come through major trials, major overcoming, major losses, major setbacks, major failures, and then major comebacks, major overcoming, major triumphs, major success to get to the point where you playing in the playoffs. And then if you win, oh my God, wow. So my question to you today is, what did you have to overcome in your life to get to your playoffs, to win your championship, whether it's a job, whether it's your children graduated from college or high school, whether it's you getting married, or whether it's you not getting divorced, or whether it's you overcoming sickness. See, people want healing, but healing means at some point you were sick. And a lot of times as believers, we don't want to go through the tough process. All I'm saying is go through the season, go through the playoffs so you can go through your championship. Right now, it's time to go to the Akintunde Show. Well, you ain't got to go. You already there. It's time to get started, family. This is the Grown Man Podcast, a.k.a. the Akintunde Show on the Free Thinkers Radio Network. Ak Show. Akintunde. Happy Thursday, family. Happy lunchtime. It's just after 12 o'clock. It is Thursday, March the 8th, 2018, and you are watching the Akintunde Show. You are listening to the Akintunde Show, or you just consuming. Somehow you consuming this content, and we appreciate your family. Thank y'all. I am Ak, your host, and I am glad to be here today. Again, we're on the Free Thinkers Radio Network. We got a brand new app on the Free Thinkers Radio Network. Just rolled it out. I would love for y'all to download it. I would love for y'all to put it on your phone. Do me a favor. If you could please take out your phone and go to your app store, whether you are Android or like myself, you're an Apple guy, and download the Free Thinkers Radio app onto your phone. And then you can not only watch the Akintunde Show and listen to the Akintunde Show and listen to the audio podcast of the Ak Show, but you can also listen to a full array of other wonderful shows that are on the Free Thinkers Radio Network. I'm not going to name them all right now, because if I start naming shows and I forget somebody's show, somebody's going to be offended. So I'm not going to do that. I'm just telling you there are a lot of great shows that touch on a lot of different places in your life: sports, relationships, young people, business, money, food. There's a whole bunch of stuff there on the Free Thinkers Radio Network. So do me a favor, please download the Free Thinkers Radio app. All right? Got a great show for y'all today. We're gonna be talking about something that's near and dear to my heart, and something that's popped up in a conversation that I saw someone else having on social media, and then I saw that person kind of snowball into something bigger. So we're gonna be discussing that. I'll tell you what that is in just a little bit. But in the meantime, between time, I need you to please like, comment, and share this video. Like this video, and then comment in the comment line and tell me where you are watching from. Like, hey, Ak, I'm watching from Cincinnati and I'm at work. And then share the video. Again, like it, please. And then comment, hey, Ak, I'm in California and I'm at the house. And then share the video. Hey, Ak, I'm in Macon, Georgia. I'm at the gym and I'm watching the show. Please tell me where you're calling from. I love it. Social media, the internet has changed the game, man. I'm telling you, it really has. And I love it when I can interact with our audience right here on Facebook and on YouTube Live and all the various platforms that we carry the Akintunde Show on. Today, I got some wonderful guests. I got my man, DJ Prince Ice, legendary DJ from right here in the Midlands in South Carolina. Has been DJing and spinning, I don't know, man, I guess the better part of 20 years on radio. And I know he's been DJing for much longer than that, but definitely for the better part of 20 years. I know it has been at least 20 years because I've been in Colombia for 15 years myself. And when I came here, Ice was cemented. He was a South Carolina, Columbia stable, and not just a South Carolina regional stable. Prince Ice is a national DJ, and I'm glad to have him on the show today. Also joining Prince Ice will be DJ Dex out of the ATL, originally from Chucktown, Charleston, South Carolina. DJ Dex will be joining me also today. And then my friend, Pastor Lewis Tucker, the pastor of my church, Lynchburg, Virginia, who's now really becoming a regular on the Akintunde Show. I appreciate that he avails himself and gives us some of his time to fit into the schedule because he's a busy man. He's a pastor, husband, father, and he gives us a lot of his time, and I appreciate that. But today, DJ Dex, Prince Ice, and Pastor Tucker, we're discussing this topic that came up recently from my man's speech from Arrested Development. And it really touches on something that I'm not going to say is something that I always talk about, but it comes up kind of consistently in my conversation with many people, particularly those of us in the entertainment industry who understand the power of media, who understand what spirituality is and what your spiritual walk is, and also just the power of what we say has. And speech from Arrested Development, you might hear me say this again later, so don't get mad. I'm not repeating myself. I just think it bears witness. It bears. We should definitely restate it. I lost my words for a minute. But so my man's speech from Arrested Development posted a video onto social media, and it was actually a picture. I'm sorry, it was actually a picture, and where he asked the question. It was a picture of many of the icons and leaders in the hip hop industry. And you can Google that picture. I'm not utilizing the picture in the show because it is, I don't know who was the copyright owner of the picture, so I don't want anybody coming at me in a negative way because I'm talking about the picture, and I'm not so talking about it in a positive light. So it was like Diddy, it was Jay-Z, it was T.I., just DJ Khaled, just to name a few. But it was several other people who are major hip hop industry contributors, major people in the hip hop industry. And the question was, they were talking about these people as being moguls and being some of the most powerful people in the industry. And speech pretty much asked the question, at what cost? I'm greatly paraphrasing what he said, but he said at what cost? And so a lot of people got upset and they said like speech was hating and this, that, and the third. And then Raven Simone got involved and it just kind of became a bigger thing. And I really thought it was a valid question because I have long since said that when you know the needs of the African-American community and when you know the absence of fathers and when you continuously put out negative portrayals of the African-American male, and when you objectify black women, and when you put out videos where you just in many ways mocking sisters or taking advantage of sisters. In my opinion, I have a problem with that. Particularly when you do it and you make a lot of money off of it, and particularly when you wouldn't do that to your own wife, daughter, or children. And I have an issue with that, and I take issue with people who consistently do this, and we make excuses for it. We're passive about it. It's not that big deal, or you being too deep, or it ain't all that, or it's just music. That ain't true, because here's the whole thing, and I'm gonna come at you real hard. Don't get mad at me, and believe me, I'm not a Republican, and I'm not no Trump. I'm by no means no Trump fan. But we're on the president a lot about what he says, what comes out of his mouth. But real talk, black people, do we hold ourselves accountable in the same way? Don't get mad at me. Write your comments in the comment line. That's fine. But don't get mad at me for posing a serious question, because at the end of the day, if a rapper comes out and says certain things and call women all kind of things out their name, it's no different, in my opinion, than when the president says it, ignorant as it may be, or does some ignorant stuff, and we're holding him accountable. We got to hold ourselves accountable too. Now, I know that's not a popular statement. I know some people gonna come at me wrong. I know some people gonna get mad with me. Even some of my friends who I talk with on the phone. I'm gonna get Lloyd probably gonna get me when I get off the air. But I'm saying it's a valid question in my estimation. And see, to me, you can't hold somebody else accountable for one area and not hold yourself accountable in that same place. All right. So we're discussing does hip hop music in the hip hop industry take advantage of the black community? One question that came up when I posted the question on Facebook and on Instagram, someone said, from what perspective are you coming from? If you're talking about the industry and the powers that be who may not be African Americans, well, I would say yes. And I'm paraphrasing slightly what that person said. But here's the question. The powers that be are not just other people. There's a lot of powers that be within the hip hop community who are African Americans. Real talk. So my question of it is, and then we celebrate stuff sometimes I think that shouldn't necessarily be celebrated. To me, I don't get excited when somebody opens up a new liquor company. You got the new hottest liquor out. That don't get me excited. That don't encourage me. That don't make me say, oh yeah, man, do your thing on that. And I understand you making money, but again, at what cost? See, I see people I see people getting upset because we talk about all you see in an African American community, particularly like lower income places, that all you see is cigarette ads, and all you see is alcohol commercials and this and that. And I agree with you on that. I agree with you 100%. When I ride past and see a Newport menthol light cigarette billboard in the heart of the black community, but I don't see that out in the suburbs or out in the country areas or out even in the mainstream city parts of the area, but I see it when I get over to a black university that's right next to a project, I have a problem with that. But what about when you see a Ciroc ad with Diddy on it? Is it the same offense? Is it the same, like, really? Is that what we're doing? All I'm saying is I believe we have to hold ourselves accountable too. So when I hear music, when it's like, be this, trap this, blah, 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 and I'm gonna pull some lyrics on some stuff in just a little bit. But when I hear that bothers me. It really does. It really does. And I think at some point, I'm not saying that we need to boycott these brothers or come at them in some harsh, negative way. That's not even what I'm saying. As a matter of fact, I think it's easier to hold somebody accountable in love as opposed to trying to shame somebody or boycott somebody or come at them wrong. I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying, but it's got to be like a little bit of accountability. I tell you, one of the biggest things that got me with that was the whole R. Kelly thing. I'm keeping real, black folks. I had a problem with that. I did. I had a serious problem with that. Like, we let R. Kelly urinate on a little girl on the video and then go tour. And then women at the tour like, yeah, ooh, R. Kelly, Robbie, ooh, 12 play, Ooh, down low, down low. This dude was peeing on a little girl, man. Real talk. Real talk. One of our producers, Sarah, just went in the back. She's like, get him out. It's the truth. It's the real talk truth. How do grown professional women with kids see this video or know that this video is out there and then go to the concert? I'm not saying that R. Kelly should have went to jail. Hey, he didn't go to jail in the court of law. Or, well, he had lawyers to get him out or whatever. He played the system and then whatever. I'm not saying he should be locked up. I'm saying though, where's the accountability? I know it's an unpopular statement. I know it's an unpopular position. So put your comments in the comment line. I would love to hear what you have to say. As you please like, comment, whatever your comment is, and then share this video. Again, I got some great guests coming in just a hot second. I got DJ Dex coming up in just a little bit, DJ Prince Ice, and then I got my man, Pastor Lewis Tucker. We talking about this whole topic today. It's a legitimate question. Does the hip-hop community take advantage of the African-American community? And I'd rather just say, does the hip-hop industry take advantage of the African-American community? That's my question. All right, and just also too today, not today, but next week. Next week, we have some major announcements. I'm not just hyping that. Major announcements. And I'm not going to tell you what area they're in right now. But real talk, please, next week, please tune in. Please make sure that you watch next week. We got major announcements because I need your support too when we put these major announcements out there. But real talk, major announcements on some awesome stuff that we're excited about, and I believe y'all gonna be excited about it too. All right. I got some upcoming dates coming up. I'm gonna tell y'all about it just a little bit later on in the show, and I'm gonna tell you how to get in touch with us as well. Hey fam, this is Akintunde Show, aka the Grown Man Podcast. We're on the Free Thinkers Radio Network. Right about now, I'm about to get into the show. I'm about to get into this topic with my man. He hails from the wonderful town of Goose Creek, South Carolina, right outside of Charleston, South Carolina. But this brother has gone on to do some mighty, mighty awesome things in the area of this music industry, this gospel and Christian music industry, even outside of, and even past gospel and Christian music industry. And he's an awesome brother, a good friend. I'm glad to have him on the show. It's my man, DJ Dex. Y'all gonna be about to watch him, and welcome to the show, family. What's up, y'all? Hey, man, we got a great show today, great topic. I told y'all, like up top, like I told y'all, we're discussing this whole narrative, this whole conversation, this dialogue that came up, and I think it's a worthy one. I got somebody on with me today who I believe is really credible and able to discuss this conversation from not only from being a national DJ who gets played on radio, who gets played on Sirius XM, who tours with many different artists, but who's also a Christian. And I think that gives us a nice dual perspective to really talk about this thing from not only the industry side, but also the ministerial side of it. My good friend today is on the show with me, my man DJ Dex. What's up, Dex?
What's up? What's happening?
How you doing, man?
I'm excited. Thank you for letting me join in over here.
No. Thank you for fitting us into your time. Dex, let me tell you something. Dex is extremely busy. Dex got a lot of different pots cooking on the top of his stove, and he's stirring them different pots. So I appreciate him taking his eye off them pots for a minute to pause and have this conversation. Real talk, because he got to get on some conversations, some conference calls as soon as this is over. But Dex, man, let me fill you in on what's going on. So, rapper Speech from Arrested Development, of course. He's in the ATL, as you are. Speech literally had some issues. He had kind of stirred up some controversy because following the Grammy Awards, of course, there was this picture that was posted, had Diddy, had Jay-Z, and many different of the notable rappers, successful rappers. T.I. was in the center of, I remember, and they were talking about the success of rap, success of hip hop, kind of popping bottles, and just talking about these different men who are having great success. And definitely not hating on success. Of course, not at all. DJ Khaled was in the picture as well. But Speech put the question out there, at what cost? Are you profiting by taking advantage of the African-American community? And when I said, of course, I said, wow. I was like, dope question. Well, of course, social media blows up. Hate. Speech is hating. Speech is doing this, saying this. And I'm like, no, man, you totally missing it. And I would love to get your perspective on it. Do you think that in hip hop over the years and currently, even with some of the current rappers, do you think hip hop takes advantage of the African American community by some of the stereotypes and different narratives that they perpetuate, repetitive narratives that they perpetuate?
Yeah, my take on that, yes, in a way, due to the fact of, they put this facade out there that's like, okay, well, you can do this, you can make this happen by only doing this or having this or being here, I feel like, of course, everything takes hard work, you know what I'm saying? And everything that you go through, of course, you have to go through something, you know what I'm saying? And you got to start from somewhere to get to where you desire to go. But also, on a faith-based, key where, where I'm at, it's all about, your relationship with God, what I'm saying? It starts off right there, because of course you got to have faith. It's a mind thing, you have to have faith. You start off with that, and then also you got a dream. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, not to say that all those guys are successful. I have the privilege of actually working with a majority of all of them.
Okay,
but it's a blessing. But also I think it's more so. Not saying that none of them put in hard work. I'm not going to say that. But everybody has their story and everybody has their own journey. But I feel that from a perspective looking from the outside and then looking in, if people don't know, them personally or know their story, then yeah, you may, of course, it's easy to pick up on it and say, oh, wait, well, yeah, they're not doing nothing, or, whatever the case may be. Now, do I feel that it's an influence, is their kind of music influencing, the generation to, go to another road? Yes, because of course you're talking about drinking, smoking, getting drugs, whatever the case may be. Yeah, that's influence, because anything that goes through your ear gate, of course, it taps into your mind. You start thinking about it, and the next thing you know, you start singing the song. Wow, this song keeps on popping up, and then you start finding yourself cussing. You start finding yourself drinking. You start finding yourself doing other things. So the influence, that's my take on it as far as across the board. I hope I answered that question.
No, you did. And as a person and from an advisory perspective, what could these brothers do better or differently to be able to influence young people to make better decisions, whether that be in the area of business, educational, or even from a criminal justice perspective? What could some of the things that they could do to improve their impact?
I believe that, of course, because like when people and different young people are looking at these artists and, powerful producers, etc., they're looking at them as, okay, look, I got to drop everything that I'm doing, but that may be that kid may be a great electrical, guy, or, maybe a good president, or whatever the case may be. But because they're so stuck on the situation of, I got to be a rapper, or I've been fed all this stuff of, the drugs or whatever the case may be, I think the focus should be more of the community. You know what I'm saying? Like, get out there, teach them behind the scenes of this is how it works, yes, but also, hey, what is your heart saying? You know what I'm saying? If they have a relationship with God, then, of course, what does God say? You know what I'm saying? I feel that, yeah, they could do more. And, we don't know, what their plans are, but I feel that, yeah, in my heart, yeah, I feel that they could do more in the community, to let them know more so on the business side of things, what it takes, you know what I'm saying? Because it doesn't happen overnight. And a lot of people, they do think it happens overnight.
People do think that. And that's one thing I love about what you do, because you're not only on stage and having DJing different events and appearing here and appearing there and on this show and on that show, but you're also behind the scenes, rooted in having the business side of it and understand that side of it, which a lot of times, you're right, from the young person who's watching it or the grown person who's watching it. Only thing they see is you on stage, you in the video. They don't see the contract negotiations. They don't see the follow up, the follow through, the stuff that didn't happen, the failures, the mistakes, the setbacks, this record didn't sell or that record did sell. I mean, I think it's incumbent upon all of us to paint a more accurate picture. So I fully agree with you on that. And now, what would you say to the young person who's out there watching whether they're watching you? Because the person, you from Charleston, you from Chucktown,
right, okay? Chucktown.
You know, you move from Charleston to Atlanta, and you get involved with different folks, and you wind up hitting some major stages.
Right.
You know, first of all, let everybody know just some of the more recent things that have happened for you over the past couple of years that's really taking DJ Dex to the next level.
Well, I mean, God has tremendously, absolutely opened the door for me to be on Sirius XM. That's on Fridays and Saturdays. The Well, that's what the show is called. Right. And then that's on from 10 p.m. to 11 p.m. Wow. Nothing but inspirational music, as well as the Get Up Morning Show with Erica Campbell from Monday through Friday at 7 a.m. Right. So that's an amazing situation, as well as, you know, touring, of course, with a powerful artist, also being at the BET Awards and different events like that, you know. Right. So it's going well. Lately, I've been working and producing a lot of shows, and you know, that's the part that a lot of people don't get to see. Right. Where I have my foot in that, you know, creative. You know, I love creating. So but yeah.
So the person who's watching DJ Dex, I know you got to get out of here. The person who's watching DJ Dex, that young person who's in Chucktown right now, right? Who see their man DJ Dex, like, oh, that's Pastor Easley, son. I know him. Right. You know, from Open Goose Creek, man. Yeah. How he get on? You know, what would you say to that person about getting to the next level? That paints a more accurate picture of what the process is.
What I would say to them is, first of all, you have to pray and think about the plan, because everything takes a plan. Because of course you're going to go through these journeys of, because I started like that. I did not know what I really truly wanted to do until I really found it. You know, I wanted to DJ, and you know, I was like, okay, you don't want to DJ, and then I started, fumbling with a lot of other stuff. But what I would tell them is, you know, find your place, find what God has truly called you to do, you know what I'm saying, and to be. If it's a singer, if it's a DJ, if it's whatever it is, producer, find it first. And then once you find it, then write out a plan, you know what I'm saying? Then start seeking, meaning, of course, going to intern, you know, go up to the radio station. I went up to the radio station every day with Brian Seabrooks. At WJNI every day. And a lot of people didn't even know, you know.
Yeah, I know WJNI. Yeah.
So I was up there all the time, every day. And he didn't shout me out all the time. I wasn't looking for that. The only thing I was looking for, I was hungry for the craft, the gift. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, what can I do to take this thing to the next level in my life? Right. So I took that and I ran with it. And then, of course, doors started opening. But I was so hungry for it. I think we're missing the hunger for it. I feel like everybody feels that, okay, it's just a handout. You know what I'm saying? And they haven't, and then they understand now, wow, you know, these guys have been in the industry for years. I didn't know it was that. Yeah, we have, but we had to work for it. You know what I'm saying? Right. It wasn't just given to us. So I encourage them to, of course, find internship. Definitely, you know, get involved in just different things that they can find truly what they desire to do, because they may think that they want to be in the industry, but then turn around and find out, you know what, this might not be for me, but you know, I may need to manage somebody instead of trying to be a singer. You know what I'm saying?
Like, you know, I need to be a plumber, or like or an electrician, like you say. I got talent. I got gifted electrician. I understand the light panels more than I do this hip hop.
Exactly. Because. And just to say that, because I actually went to school for electrical engineering. Wow. So so that's my career thing. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I went for, and I got it, and that's cool. But then, you know, also DJing and touring and producing, that took another level too. But guess what? I still got something that I can lean back on. You know what I'm saying? It's a trade and everything. So that's what I would actually recommend.
Y'all hear that, young people? if the turntables ever stop spinning, he got a good money job to fall back. You know, yes. Old people say, "Boy, you got you a good job. That's a good job right there. Now. You can make some good money doing that, son." My man, DJ Dex, Goose Creek, South Carolina's own, the wonderful son of Doctors Dexter Easley and Pastor Barbara Easley, and they just been holding it down for years, man. Doing your thing, brother. Proud of you, man. Keep doing your thing, sir.
Man. Thank you.
Yes, sir. All right, y'all. We got a whole lot more. The topic continues on. I got my man Prince Ice coming up in just a little bit. Yeah, legendary DJ Prince Ice and a whole lot more. This is the Akintunde Show, aka the Grown Man Podcast family. Don't y'all move.
Hi, I'm Fred. I recently got divorced after 30 years of marriage. I guess my wife finally got tired of my crap, huh? So I'm back out on the dating scene. And what I recognize is, when it comes to women and relationships, I'm trifling. So I logged on to triflingconnections.com.
Are you a trifling guy? Are you a trifling female? Log on to triflingconnections.com and meet other trifling people just like you.
Why waste time dating good women when I really don't want one? Why not meet a trifling female who doesn't mind if I date her coworkers, date her friends, or even date her adult daughter? Man, that's trifling. I'm trifling, and she knows it. Triflingconnections.com.
Hey guys, are you always unemployed? Still living at the crib with your mama? In the rears on your child support? You're probably trifling.
I want a trifling female with a bad attitude, nasty house, and no job.
Hey ladies, are you always in a foul mood? Don't quite know how to talk to people? Always breaking up with your boyfriend, but it's never you. You might be trifling too.
I'm trifling and I know it. But what I didn't realize is there's a lot of trifling women out there just like me. And when I say trifling, I mean trifling.
Triflingconnections.com is not responsible for the outcomes of your relationships. Triflingconnections.com does not do background checks. STDs, unwanted pregnancies, and identity theft are the sole responsibilities of the adults who populate this website. You knew what you were getting into.
I'm Fred, and I'm trifling. Log on to triflingconnections.com today and make your trifling connection.
Make a connection with other trifling people just like you at triflingconnections.com. We're trifling, and we know it.
You're inside the Akintunde Show, aka the Grown Man Podcast. We'll be right back. The Akintunde Show is sponsored in part by Atomic Design. Set the stage for maximum effect for your next live event with Atomic Design. Whether live event production, set design, custom set construction, or modular rental scenery, Atomic Design is the company for you. Official set designer of my upcoming live comedy special, Akintunde Because I Said So. Learn more about the captivating capabilities of Atomic Design. Give them a call today at 717-626-4408 and tell them Akintunde told you to call. Atomic Design, atomicdesign.tv.
$26 logo designs. Need a logo like the ones here? Go to JaleelMakesLogos.com for yours today. JaleelMakesLogos.com. $26 logo designs. Need a logo like the ones here? Go to JaleelMakesLogos.com for yours today. JaleelMakesLogos.com.
Hey, what's up, family? The Akintunde Because I Said So Jokes and Music Tour has officially begun. Savannah, Georgia was lit. Moncks Corner was gas. Germany was spectacular. Hollywood, Florida was off the chain. The tour is rolling, and we just added some dates. So, for my full schedule, including speaking engagements, log on to my website.
The 2014 Dove Award Comedian of the Year.
It's the Akintunde Live Because I Said So Jokes and Music Tour coming to a city near you. And if it's not, do something about it. Give us a call at 1-800-280-0094. That's 1-800-280-0094. Or hit me on my website. That's akintunde.net. That's AKINTUNDE.net. Because I Said So Jokes and Music Tour coming to a city near you. I'ma see y'all when I see y'all. Peace. What's up, family? What's up, y'all? Hey, the Akintunde Show is brought to you by Atomic Designs. AtomicDesign.com. They were the production company who, out of Florida and out of Pittsburgh as well as Los Angeles, they did the set design for my last comedy special, which will be out, and I'll be making an announcement next week. Can't tell you right now, but but they did the production design and set design for our comedy special. Did an awesome job. Atomic Design, AtomicDesign.com. Go log onto the website and check them out. Also brought to you by TriflingConnections.com. I'm sorry. Don't get mad at me. Y'all know it's real. You people who've done dated somebody trifling, you wish they had a website called Trifling Connections so all the trifling people can go there and hang out together with themselves. I'm reading some of y'all comments here on Facebook. That's why I got my glasses on. Shout out to Pastor Stephanie Tucker, who is commenting in the comment line. Please put your comments down there. We'd love to hear your thoughts. And she said that I was talking earlier about the fact that you get mad when people get mad when they see a cigarette company advertising in their neighborhood. She also put up there that Newport, where she lives, Newport, Virginia, that area has one of the highest amounts of nicotine and tar, I guess, disease or sicknesses, diseases that come from that. But still, you have folks that advertise there. Essentially, you're showing and advertising a product that you know causes death, you know causes issues. I'll come back to that. My man Corey M. Coleman. What's up, Corey? Corey said, I'm trying to understand the question. The question is, do you believe, my question to you as the audience, do you believe that the hip-hop industry takes advantage of the African-American community? And he said, I'm trying to understand the question. I mean, does McDonald's take advantage of hungry people? I would say it's business. And honestly, most hip-hop artists that have a platform don't live the lives they portray. I totally agree with you. In regard to most hip hop artists, they don't live the lives they portray. I've long said, I joke about it on stage, but it's true. Rick Ross is one of the biggest character actors, probably one of the best actors they are in the industry. Here's a guy who graduated from Albany State University, who was a corrections officer, a prison corrections officer. He then starts rapping and takes on the name and persona of an actual drug dealer who was in prison forever named Freeway Ricky Ross. And he takes on his persona, and then the guy gets out of jail and then starts telling the true story about the fact that he's the real Rick Ross. He went to jail, did fair time, and he cut a deal to get out of prison. And here's a guy who's rapping under his name, and he's not that Rick Ross. Rick Ross is a fictitious character. Real talk. The question becomes, why does a grown man who's almost my age, why is he portraying this character of a drug dealer and rapping about slinging keys when he actually literally is not? Why is that? I mean, here's the thing. Rick Ross got sick flow. The dude can rap. Real talk. As much as I don't like what his music stands for, that little thing he do is very, that little sound he make, that huh. That's a good marketing point. It's addictive. You hear it, you like, oh, that's Rick Ross. That's brilliant marketing. But why is it attracted to drug dealing? Why is he not rapping about going to Albany State? Went to Albany State, had to make it to class fast, had to get there, I was late for class, had to stay up all night, study for my test, Why is he not talking about that? Why is this grown man talking about drugs when you're not a drug dealer? You're a businessman, a brilliant one at that. That's my problem. I have a serious problem with that. And I know some people don't. And this and why I understand what you're saying, Corey. I don't think it's just business. I don't think it's just business. Because our young people, real talk, the young people who listen to this stuff, they are taking it on as real life. They're not in the marketing meetings at the label, at the distributor. They're not in the cross branding. They don't understand that when Rick Ross wears a watch, or when he talks about a certain liquor, that there was a $150,000 or $250,000 exchange just for them drinking that liquor in the video. That's a problem. That I have a problem with it. I really do. And then here's the whole thing. Now I get it. You can't, and I say this in the timeline, I'm not asking Rick Ross or somebody else to do my job as a parent. But I will say this, as a parent, we are in a culture war. Literally. We are in a cultural war for our young people's souls, their minds, their bodies. Real talk. I'm not being overly deep here. A cultural war. It's a lot of nonsense that's on social media, on TV, and in music that is counterproductive to what we want to see our children grow up to be. Is it something new? No. Was rappers doing it back in the day? Yes, they were. I used to listen to crazy stuff myself. I used to listen to a lot of foul music myself. I used to get crunk and get in the mood to go to a party where I knew I was gonna fight somebody. I was putting on crunk music like NWA. Man, put that NWA CD in, because I'm about to get real crunk in case we roll up in here. These jokers want to get foul. I remember having that conversation riding down Skidaway, going to I forgot that venue over there by the park in Savannah, Georgia. I remember those days, riding down the street, getting crunk. In case these jokers say they want to get started something, put that NWA in. I wasn't no thug. Wasn't even no parts of a thug. But guess what? That was the mindset that I was trying to subscribe to and trying to get into to be something that I wasn't. Now, you may say, well, you came out all right, but here's the whole thing, man. Here's the whole thing. It's getting worse, and this generation of children, this is the most fatherless generation of children that there has ever been in the African-American community. 74% of our households don't have a child in it. I know I'm not being funny right now, and I might not be engaging right now, but I'm being truthful. 74% of our households grow up without a father in the home. But we are 30 years, 25 years out of one of the most wild and craziest musical eras. We eating the fruits of bumping and grinding. We eating the fruits of F the police. We eating the fruits of it's 187 on the undercover car. We eating the fruits of it ain't no fun if my homies can't have none, which is a song about passing around a girl. It ain't no fun if my homies can't have none. Do you want your mama? Do you want somebody talking about your mama like that? Do you want somebody talking about your daughter like that? No. But so to me, call me crazy. To me, it's a bit of a connection between what we was listening to back then and then the outcomes of our families in 2018. Are our families perfect? No. I'm a father in the house with my children. Got all my children from one woman. Do you still have problems with your children? Yes. Real talk, yes. What I'm saying is there has to be some responsibility taken. We have to really address the issue. Real talk. I'm gonna read some more of y'all comments. Please comment in the comment line. Like, comment, and share this video. Let's keep it moving. Up next, I got my brother Prince Ice. Let me tell you a good, quick Prince Ice story. Prince Ice, man, he just was a good guy. When I came to Columbia, I came to the Big DM, took a job to host a morning show with my good friend, Mr. Curtis Wilson, still my good friend to this day, and a young lady named Lori Mack from Charlotte, North Carolina, who's going on, moved back to North Carolina, and I came here to host this morning show with them, and Prince Ice would perform mixes, and then I was in charge of producing the comedy bits as well for the morning show, and Ice used to help me out. He would help me out by coming in early, mixing up some stuff. Me and my man Geechee Boy would be in there in the morning, late at night, working on stuff. And Ice would come in and help us out. He'd do voiceover, sometimes help us cut and edit stuff. But he's always been a good dude, and he was a great person as a legendary, true, no exaggeration, a legendary DJ from our area that we call out on to have on this conversation. Real talk, does the hip-hop industry take advantage of the black community? That's my question today. This is the Akintunde Show. It's my man Prince Ice. All right, y'all. I've been talking about this guy. He's with us. My man, my friend. I ain't talked to him in a while, man. Let me tell y'all something. When I first came to Columbia, South Carolina, I accepted the co-host spot on the Big DM Morning Show with my friend Curtis Wilson, Lori Mack, everyone. It was a mix. Where Ice would either come into the studio or he would have a mix laid out for us. And man, when I tell you, he always blessed the house, always tore it up. I mean, a true musician, a true South Carolina living legend. People throw the word legend around, rather freely today. But this is one of our very own true South Carolina living legends, my man DJ Prince Ice. What's up, Ice?
What's good, brother Ak? Hey.
Hey, man, a lot of folks don't know me and Ice go way back. Ice would help us create bits, like with like the comedy spoofs, the music spoofs.
Yes.
Ice would help us produce them, even get in there, help us write them. We a wonderful guy, and more than anything, always been a good dude, good father, good husband, good friend, man. So glad to have you on the show to talk about this great topic, man.
Thank you, brother. I was laughing with Spanky Brown about those hours we used to spend making up those parodies.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Them song parodies? Oh.
My gosh, yes.
Yeah. I cut my teeth in production doing that, man. Up 3 o'clock in the morning, gotta have it ready by 6 o'clock.
Exactly.
Mixing the showdown.
Right.
But Ice, let me bring in the conversation. So here's what's been going on. Speech from Arrested Development, who I'm sure you know. Speech started a little bit of a controversy by retweeting a picture of some of the greats in hip hop, Jay-Z, T.I. Right. I want to say I forgot who all was in that picture right now. DJ Khaled was in that picture, and many others. But the picture basically was touting the success of these different guys. It was after the Grammys. I think it was at a Grammys party. But Speech suggested they had success, but at what cost? What cost? And he suggested that these guys somewhat made their success taking advantage of the black community. Do you agree with that? Do you think that hip hop artists, rappers, have a responsibility to create and play music that is positive or uplifting? Or do you think, before we get to that, do you think these guys took advantage of the African American community with their music?
I think that the industry took advantage of them because knowing their origin, Jay-Z did sell drugs. When we were kids, he did sell drugs.
Okay.
It is true.
Okay.
So he came from that lifestyle, telling his story, and as he advanced in his years, he went from telling just that story to telling every other story about life in his own way. Mm-hmm. And I understand Speech's standpoint, because I think what Speech is calling for is something that I wouldn't say you have to ask for it from the Jay-Z's and those guys, because they came from selling drugs and they told their story, and they came up. Mm-hmm. Now, I think what he's asking from the legends like those guys is, what are they doing now to change the impact that they have on the black community? Because now, today's world, mm-hmm. The black community is definitely being, but that's what we call it, programming, from television to radio to social mm-hmm. media,
right,
to reality TV. It's been programming. When you talked about when we came in the radio, there was a balance. So every song that talked about, it was like a jungle sometimes, made me wonder how I keep them going under.
Right.
You had that song talked about how people struggled in life, and if they did do drugs, that's because of their condition.
Right.
And if they sold drugs, it's because they had to do that to survive and take care of their family. Fast forward to the time that T.I., Young Jeezy came out.
Right.
They were doing the same thing, and but they taught you how to cook crack.
Right.
So I understand what he's saying, that, in some ways, people will say, these guys made it by telling the black community, hey, sell that crack, smoke that drug, whatever.
Right.
Now, here's the other side of it that a lot of people are going to say, what else did they do? Because the one thing that I know from being in the music industry, the record labels tell these artists stuff. Like, I've watched artists come in, you don't know how many times I've been talking with people that there needs to be a self-destruction remix.
What you say? Wow.
Yeah, and if you took an artist like Drake, or Kendrick Lamar, or J. Cole, and add a Cardi B and a Nicki Minaj, and these artists write a song like that. They are the most influential people, and then of course get the Migos.
Yeah,
If you get them to speak legibly enough that everybody can understand.
Right. Stop.
Yeah, you know.
What?
Put the gun down and stop shooting.
Right.
You know, if they can all come together and do that, because I guess what it is the industry, sad to say, the truth be told, the industry tells these artists on the urban side, I'm sorry, but it is, I'm just speaking from no one being in it. They don't want the urban artists, and yeah, I'm going to say it, the black artists, to make no positive music.
So when you say the industry, paint the picture as an industry professional, or when you say the industry,
right? What
is the industry?
Record labels and all of the people that's connected to them. It's the new corporate control of radio.
Okay.
So there's an artist that has a hot record out, and if it's a positive record and they blew up without radio, kind of like what Chance the Rapper did. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
And they got mad at Chance, because Chance has a song called "No Problems" where he talks about, he says it in the song, if one more label try to stop me, I'm gonna have some dreadheads in your lobby. And he's threatening the record labels because the record labels tried to shut him down from getting airplay.
Wow.
But he had 6 to 12 million views on his songs, 20 million views on his music.
Wow.
Download out the yang, and he's making songs that are different from everything else. You know, of course, yeah, he might have talked about his hard life in the Shy, but you look at who he's working with, some of the most powerful, inspirational artists.
Yeah.
And then he does so much in the community, and that's been an argument of mine over the years anyway, and that's why been working with artists to try to tell them on the pop side, look at all the pop artists. They're making love songs that R&B and hip hop used to make.
Yeah.
They're making those songs now. Yeah. It seems like every song I got a 11-year-old granddaughter, man. She asked me about the lyrics of a Nicki Minaj song. Papa, did she just say? Yeah, she said that. She said, oh my.
Wow.
So, and she's like, wow. I said, see, the problem with the music they have now is the beats are really dope, but the lyrics are terrible.
Yeah, lyrics terrible. Yeah.
The content, and that's what speeches, the content of a lot of artist stuff has compromised the morality of what people say in the black community.
Right.
And so that's where we understand, yeah, he's right on that aspect of it. Because see, now here goes. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, but the question becomes is how do you change the narrative? So again, as a person, as an industry professional, a person who's in there in the trenches, seeing what comes and what goes, seeing how the process. I mean, you played the hottest records in the country, in the world, and you've also probably seen when those same artists who had hot records, now they can't sell a record, or you can't play their new stuff because it's just not for whatever reason. How do you change the narrative? How does somebody today come in with a different perspective, do something different, and still be hot?
Well, I'm gonna show you because I've got a compilation coming out. This year makes 30 years I've been in radio.
Okay, all right, wow. 30 years.
I got a deal with Universal Fontana in 2004, and I did an album called "Feels So Good."
Okay,
we had artists from South Carolina. We had good, clean hip hop. One record went number 5 in the Orlando Record Pool chart.
Okay,
and had a top 5 mix show record in Philly, and one in Detroit. But the support in South Carolina was none.
Wow.
Because the one thing about this area is everybody wants something to happen, but when it does happen, they want to choose who does it, and they want to choose how. You know, so, and then of course the same thing. The cancer that we have in our community is the hate.
Yeah.
So if you and I get together, we grab some of the best rappers and singers, and we come up with some music that's actually clean.
Right.
You know, because see, here's the thing: you have your gospel rap over here, you have your hardcore street rap over here.
Yeah.
What what's missing is that right down the road, right down the center, the straight and narrow. That's more necessary than everything on the left or the right, because you need some normal day music.
Do you think Chance the Rapper? Do you think he's a good example of that? Is he pulling from that straight down the middle?
He touched on it. J. Cole touches on it. Kendrick taps on it. He was doing more of it when he first came out.
Right.
But you can tell that the industry influence is there, because I don't hate his new music, but even listening to the soundtrack to Panther is okay.
Gotcha.
You know. Gotcha. But the call to make music that does feed the soul is definitely there, and especially when it comes to hip hop, because when hip hop first came out, we can remember, man, you loved Rapper's Delight, Planet Rock, Suck MC, Buddy by De La Soul, even Tribe Called Quest, Salt and Pepper, and then of course the change happened after the late '80s, where your Public Enemy and NWAs and Poor Righteous Teachers started addressing social issues on a higher scale, because rap was going commercial now.
Right.
Before them with Run DMCs and others.
Right.
So here we are 30 plus years later. The cry is, who's going to give us the water? And what I mean by that is this. When you're dying of thirst, you don't ask for a Gatorade, you don't ask for an alcoholic beverage, you don't ask for a soda.
Right.
You ask for water.
You ask for water. Wow.
Water is that pure, unfiltered, clean substance that gives you everything you need at the moment when you get it.
Right.
And that type of hip hop is needed right now, to where the kids can listen to a song and we can listen to it. You know? We grew up with hip hop.
Right.
We accepted everything that came before us and everything after us, but we truly grew up with hip hop.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So we want someone to just come through and say, hey, here's a song, because I still can listen to Run DMC and stuff. My mom can still listen to our old school rap.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
She had to nitpick when it started coming to the 90s,
Yeah.
And then after that, she couldn't argue.
She didn't listen to it. Yeah.
Couldn't.
So in closing, your thoughts is that should these rappers be held accountable? Let's say moving forward, for what they put out, to put a different narrative out there, and hopefully affect a better level, affect more change on the ground within the black community. Before you answer the question, one of the biggest questions there ever has been, does art imitate life, or does life imitate art?
Both. Yeah, art more so imitates life when people talk about things that happen in life. But life is starting to imitate art, because I can recall when, like I said, when Young Jeezy came out, there were guys I knew that were rapping clean. All of a sudden, they start rapping about selling drugs and making crack. I was like, boy, your mom's a doctor, your daddy is a lawyer.
Right.
The only ounces you know is a 12-ounce bottle of Coca-Cola. You don't know nothing about no ODs and grams.
Right.
Yeah. What's them, Cookie Crisp and graham crackers?
Right.
Nah. And then one kid freestyle for me, man. He broke down the barrel of a gun. I was like, you don't own any guns. He said, I know, but that's what people want to hear. I said, who told you that?
Yeah, who told you that? Wow.
But see, so to come to your question, responsibility and accountability are pushed to the side because of the people that are in charge of the industry. Yeah, at the end of the day, I'm okay. I can speak for myself and anybody I work with. I've got a compilation coming out. None of the songs are derogative. None of the songs you have to turn off when your kid's in the car. And we're grown.
Okay.
We can't listen to some of the stuff out now. So from 8 to 80, you should be able to listen to current music and classic music.
Right.
And then there are some classic songs, you know, when we were younger, no, we didn't get to listen to Sexual Healing until we got old.
Right.
But even when it came on in the car, we quite didn't understand until, you know, the only song that I'll make you laugh on this note. My mom, I said, Mom, what's wrong with that woman? Why is she hollering? Was 2 songs. Donna Summer's Love the Baby and Nathan Harris' Love Won't Let Me Wait.
Oh wow. Yeah.
Making no pleasurable sounds, whatever, you know.
Yeah.
So the responsibility goes in a lot of ways. Artists have a choice. You're either going to make what the industry, because the industry is, I'm literally saying this to a lot of artists, because a lot of artists think that they have to follow suit. I got to make something like the Amigos to make it. No, you sure don't. Because if your record is good, you may have to work harder at getting it out.
Yeah.
Because that's not what they want to push. That's not the image they want us to have. Look at I don't even want to get into these conversations because y'all already talked about the impact of Black Panther and Wakanda scenario. But
yeah, but no, go ahead.
What it showed is the excellent representation of who we truly are supposed to be.
Right.
And can be.
Right.
And it showed when you think of Killmonger, it showed how we really feel about everything. We've been stripped, robbed, and everything taken. Hip hop has been taken from us.
Yeah.
We still now we get to participate in it, but look at R&B. You got Justin Timberlake, Sam Smith, and Robin Thicke. They don't need any black singers anymore. And they got Adele, so they don't need any black female singers anymore.
Wow.
Now, on the rap side, they got G-Eazy and Post Malone and a couple of other Caucasian artists. And the problem where you don't want to run into race is what you look at is they push that. Right. They got an artist that sounds like Drake, so they don't even need him no more. So they'll go. They say, "Oh, we're gonna get one of those, but we're gonna have it do this because we don't want that message to our kids." However, on your hip hop station, all day long, it's let's teach those kids how to perform sexual activities. and when a kid comes up to you in their car, like my granddaughter did, she's like, "Ugh, that's gross."
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
That's so there's a responsibility that falls on everyone, from the artist to the label. It is a choice. They got free will to do what they want to do and get their money. And like you said, some of those artists that have done it over the years changed paths along the way.
Right.
You know, think Ice Cube and it was with NWA and all these other things.
Right.
But look at what he's doing now. He's making all these family style movies.
Yeah. Yeah.
And made more money off of Are We There Yet? Are We Done Yet? Than he did off of Forget the Police.
Yeah. Hey, you live and you learn, you grow and you grow and you learn more, you know more, you do better. Hopefully you do better.
Yeah.
My man, DJ Prince Ice, man, holding it down for us. Been 30 years. Ice, congratulations, bro.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. You gotta come by one day and mix for us. Like do an old school mix.
I will do it. I will bring the turntables out for you.
All right, I'm gonna hold you to it.
I will do it.
All right, man. Hey, bro, I love you, man. Good to see you, sir. Tell the wife and the family I said what's up, please.
I will do it. Wakanda forever.
Y'all forever. Ice forever.
Yes. Ice.
Y'all stay right there. My man Prince Ice, y'all. Akintunde Show. We can still got some more to talk about. Don't go nowhere. Call somebody, tweet somebody, share it, post it. Let them know the Ox Show is on. You're inside the Akintunde Show, a.k.a. the Grown Man Podcast. We'll be right back. The Akintunde Show is sponsored in part by Atomic Design. Set the stage for maximum effect for your next live event with Atomic Design. Whether live event production, set design, custom set construction, or modular rental scenery, Atomic Design is the company for you. Official set designer of my upcoming live comedy special, Akintunde Because I Said So. Learn more about the captivating capabilities of Atomic Design. Give them a call today at 717-626-4408 and tell them Akintunde told you to call. Atomic Design, atomicdesign.tv.
$26 logo designs. Need a logo like the ones here? Go to JaleelMakesLogos.com for yours today. JaleelMakesLogos.com. $26 logo designs. Need a logo like the ones here? Go to JaleelMakesLogos.com for yours today. JaleelMakesLogos.com.
Hey, what's up, family? The Akintunde Because I Said So Jokes and Music Tour has officially begun. Savannah, Georgia was lit. Moncks Corner was gas. Germany was spectacular. Hollywood, Florida was off the chain. The tour is rolling, and we just added some dates. For my full schedule, including speaking engagements, log on to my website.
The 2014 Dove Award Comedian of the Year.
It's the Akintunde Live, Because I Said So Jokes and Music Tour, coming to a city near you. And if it's not, do something about it. Give us a call at 1-800-280-0094. That's 1-800-280-0094. Or hit me on my website. That's akintunde.net. That's AKINTUNDE.net. Because I Said So Jokes and Music Tour, coming to a city near you. I'ma see y'all when I see y'all. Peace.
Happy Thursday, family. Happy Thursday to y'all. Happy lunchtime. Thank y'all for tuning in. Thank y'all for watching. All of you who are watching, I do not take it lightly. I appreciate you and I thank you. Shout out to Tiffany Gibbons who's watching. Kenya True L is watching. Kathy Brown Austin is watching. Ken Williams, what's up, cuz? Rhonda Bacon is watching. Monquita Howard is watching. I always mess her name up. Doris Cold-Hearted Brown. I love that little middle moniker there. Angelique Camille, what's up, Camille? Brandon Seawright, hey, Brandon Seawright, I gotta have Brandon Seawright on the show. Brandon Seawright can have a conversation almost about anything. Politics, sports, randomness, social media. I mean, Brandon is my friend, long time, good dude, man. Charles P. Williams, what's up, Charles P. Williams? Kenneth Beckett, what's up, Kenneth? How you doing, sir? Deb Graham, how you doing, Deb? Wendell Nesbitt, what's up, man? How you doing, bruh? How Crystal doing, man? What's going on, family? Anthony Trott, promoter Anthony Trott out of Maryland, D.C., New Jersey area. Anthony Trott is also watching. Hey, I got my friend Pastor Lewis Tucker coming up in just a little bit. He'll be joining me to carry on this conversation. Let me give y'all some quick updates on where I will be coming up. March 17th, I'll be in Canestree, South Carolina at New Life Deliverance Outreach Center, Canestree. And then on March the 19th, something very special to me, I will be at the Amara Place. A long-term care facility. I'm stopping in to just say thank you and do a bit of some comedy for my seasoned citizens. I don't call them old people. I don't call them senior citizens. At our church we call them seasoned citizens. But I'm stopping by just to say thank you because a big group came out to the filming of a comedy special, and I'm just going by to say thank you to them. On March 24th, I'll be in Vegas. I'll be at the Stellar Awards hosting behind the host, making sure everything stays funny and lively with the crowd. I'll be there in Vegas on the 24th. That same week, I got another major announcement that's going to happen. I'll tell you about that next week. April the 2nd through the 5th. I'm filming a new movie in Atlanta. I'll tell you more about that later. Right now, I got a non-disclosure agreement that I had to sign, so I can't tell you about it. But if you don't see me April the 2nd through the 5th, I'll be in Atlanta shooting my parts in this new film that's coming out. April the 6th, the day following the film shoot, I'll be in Alexandria, Virginia at Agape Embassy Ministries. I love Agape Embassy Ministries, Pastor Mills, co-Pastor Mills, awesome church family there. April the 12th, I'll be at the Department of Juvenile Corrections right here in Columbia, South Carolina, speaking to the youth on April the 12th. April the 14th, I'm at Friendship Baptist in Minneapolis with my man Shed G, holding it down. I can't wait. I've been wanting to work with this brother for a long time. Thank you to Miguel Lloyd for hooking up this tour date. But I'll be in Minneapolis, the hometown of Prince. We'll be holding it down. April the 20th, I'll be hosting Terrence Young's birthday jazz concert. Y'all know Terrence shuts it down. So I'm so glad to be able to host that for Terrence. On April 21st, the next day, I'm at Thankful Baptist Church in Rome, Georgia. April 22nd, something very big is coming up. I can't tell you about it till next week. That's another major announcement I'll tell you about on next week. We come to the upstate. On April 27th, a House United Marriage Retreat. I'll be in Charleston, South Carolina with my friends Pastors Dexter and Jeanette Howard. And April 28th, I am holding it down at the Sweet Potato Festival with my band, Spiritual Chocolate. We be doing my jokes and music for real, family. Yeah, me and the band, Spiritual Chocolate, will be there at the Sweet Potato Festival right here in Columbia, in Lower Richland, right here in Hopkins, South Carolina. So I mentioned Pastor Dex and Jeanette Howard. They will be my guests on next week. So make sure you tune in for that. Pastor Dex and Pastor Jeanette will be joining me, talking about a great topic that I think is very worthy of discussing, and that is, we're talking about marriage, talking about couples, we're talking about when you are not in alignment, or another word is, in business they might say, on the same page, or in the church, in the kingdom of God, we say on one accord. When you're not in alignment with your marriage, all kind of stuff happens, it goes out of whack, and then you got to be able to get that back in alignment. Yeah, we'll talk about that, Pastor Dex and Jeanette Howard. If you're a married couple, if you want to get married, they really, really drop some serious jewels and knowledge. That's my guess on next week. All right, that's next week, coming up next week on the Akintunde Show. All right, so we continue this conversation today. Do you think that the hip-hop industry takes advantage of the black community? Many of you had comments. Some of you agree, some of you disagree, and that is okay. Many of you are watching, and I appreciate it. Do me a favor, like this post, like this video, comment in the video. Let me know where you watch from, even if you have no opinion. Let me know where you're watching from. Let me know where you are, and when I say where you're watching from, give me the city where you're watching from, as well as tell me if you're at work, you're at home, you're at school, wherever you are, at the gym, at the grocery store, you're in your car, on your lunch break, wherever you are. Let me know where you are, family. I appreciate you. Up next, got my friend who's going to come through and drop some knowledge on this topic. As I said before, he's almost really become a regular here on the Akintunde Show, and I appreciate it because he got a busy schedule, whole lot of life to live, but he fits us into the schedule. But this is a worthy topic, a topic that, quite frankly, he's rather passionate about. And I want to welcome right now to the show my good friend. He is the pastor of my church, Lynchburg, Virginia, Pastor Lewis Tucker. Welcome right now to the Akintunde Show. All right, y'all, the conversation continues, man. Hey, it was hard for me to have this conversation without talking to our brother, our friend, my man, Pastor Lewis Tucker, pastor of my church, Lynchburg, Virginia. And it holds it down every Sunday and midweek Bible study service as well, kicking it and letting folks know about the power of God, challenging folks to live at a higher level, a better and higher quality teaching of the Word of God. That's what he delivers. But he's also a old school hip hop head like myself, a true hip hop fan. So I could not have this conversation without bringing Pastor Tuck into the dialogue. Thank you, sir, for jumping on with us. I know you're busy. I appreciate you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Ain't no problem. Ain't no problem. Always got time for you, my man.
Well, me and you have one reason why I definitely want to run it by you to see if you were available is because this is one of those conversations that you and I have on a regular, consistent basis. And of course, we do not agree about Michael Jordan and LeBron James being the greatest of all time.
There you go.
I'm not starting that argument today. I'm just saying we don't agree about that, but one thing we definitely agree on, of many things, is the power of music and some of the overarching long-term implications of hip-hop music. And so, again, let me just set it up for you, Pastor Tuck. In case you didn't know, in case somebody's just new to the conversation, is passing by Facebook and jumped in right now, my man's speech from Arrested Development took some flack because he retweeted a picture of some of the most notable, more successful artists in hip hop, DJ Khaled, Jay-Z, T.I., and they were talking about touting their success in this picture just after the Grammy Awards. And speech suggested and asked the question, at what cost? You've been successful at what cost? And he suggested that so the question that came up by a lot of people, Raven Simone got involved, Chuck D chimed in, and many others. Many, difference, many of the current radio personalities chime in asking the question and challenging speeches, some of them did. But then, of course, Raven Simone and Chuck D 100% agree with speech. My question is for you, do you think that hip-hop artists, past and present, you think some of them have taken advantage of the African-American community?
I'd have to say 100%, absolutely. And the reason why I say that, you know, we can go back years ago, and I remember, and this is not trying to sneak back into the basketball arena, but we all remember in the 80s when Charles Barkley made the comment that he was not a role model.
Right. Yeah, I remember that.
And one of the things about it is when you step into the public eye and you step into the public arena and you start receiving a paycheck to be in the public arena, a certain amount of that responsibility comes with it.
Right.
And we don't have a right to take that approach that I'm not a role model. If that's the case, then you need to go find a private job. Right. And so many times we want to try to take that tone that, you know, I'm not a role model, you know, and I this is just my job. Well, we say that, but then we'll sit there and throw rocks at Donald Trump. We'll throw rocks. We'll throw rocks at Pastor Tucker. I mean, we'll throw rocks at the people we choose to throw rocks at.
Right.
Because my job is public.
Right.
My life is public.
Right.
Trump's life is public.
Right.
And like I said, and I'm not saying I support Trump or anybody else, but the fact of the matter is, if your life is public, then you need to be very responsible about your public living. Because our life is on display for everybody to see. Right. And especially when your whole product you're promoting, you are promoting a doctrine. Now, none of them get out here and say, this is my religion, this is, but when you are selling something, you are marketing a product. Right. And that's just like, for example, if an advertising company got out here and started shooting commercials with a bottle of shampoo, with a guy who was bald washing his hair in the shower, he got out and he had an afro. Right. They never had to say in the commercial that this grows hair, but people would try to sue them for false advertising. Right. That's right. Because they say you are misrepresenting what this product does. Good point. And it's the same thing. It's the same thing in the hip hop community. You're out here glorifying this lifestyle. You're saying that crime pays. You're saying that you can go out here and live this lifestyle, and this is the way we live. And that's the problem with this. And they don't see the correlation. They're just saying, oh, these are just lyrics. These are just things that I'm saying. Right. But I can't stand up and people talk about that's the First Amendment. Well, I can't stand up in the movie theater and cry fire. If I do that, that's against the law. That's against the law. That's right. That's illegal. And that's the same thing that you're doing. You're standing up on the radio with a bigger microphone than I would have in a movie theater. Right. And you're crying, this is the way to salvation, and you're sending people to their death. Right. Wow. Now, when a great point came up, and for full transparency, on a conversation we had earlier, where we talked about the way people within the people who either, some of them Christian, some of them non-Christian, but people who probably in many ways are unchurched will say, oh, when they see a church that's very successful, let's say, for example, like Joel Osteen took a lot of flack a few months back when they were saying that they didn't open the doors of Lakewood early enough during the storm. Okay. Yep. Then anytime something comes up during the church with a successful pastor with a growing congregation, I might add, who have people come to their church every Sunday because the people want to come. It ain't like he making them come. But people, they begin to dog a lot of successful pastors and say like, oh, you're doing this, or you living off of church folks or the people, or you got that big old church, or any church for that matter. Any church in this particular community, you in this community, and you taking care of yourself off these people. And I'm like, first of all, you don't understand the biblical ramifications and the biblical structure system which calls for that. That's the first thing. That's another conversation. Mm-hmm.
However, and of course, there are some people who abuse this. I'm not talking about this, but my point is when you see rappers who are successful, who live or come back to the hood, driving this, driving that, and you don't hold them to the same level of scrutiny or accountability concerning their success that you try to hold pastors and churches who are successful. What's your thoughts on that? Because I think there's this crazy conversation that always pops up, but that same conversation, if somebody like Speech or myself have a conversation concerning the responsibility of rap, then people want to say you hate.
Exactly. And when you say that, and that goes even beyond the rap category, but like you say, okay, the tornado, the floods hit the Houston area.
Right.
And like you said, and they dogged Joel Osteen, saying he took too long to open up the church, and like you said, he living off the people, he got all that money, and he ain't do this, he ain't do that. Right. But like you said, I didn't see nobody calling out the owner of the Houston Rockets for him not opening up the arena. I didn't see nobody calling out the Houston Rockets players and Houston Texans players for not, sending out their money and doing it. I didn't hear nobody calling out the Walmart and the Sam's Clubs in that area because they're eating off those people. I didn't see them calling out all of the rappers. And like I said, I don't know who lives in Houston, but I know back in the day, H-Town was Scarface and all those boys. But I don't know who lived that now. But you know what I'm saying? They don't go down that list because that's not their concern.
Right.
Everybody wants to throw a rock at the easiest target.
Right.
And the easiest target is the guy who ain't gonna fight back.
Right.
The guy who, as soon as he picks up his rock, then you can say, "Ooh, he ain't supposed to be throwing rocks."
Right.
So it's not fair.
Right.
So you want to throw a rock, or punch at the guy who then, as soon as he swings back, you have a right to say he's not supposed to fight back.
Right.
Wow. And that's the reason why they do that.
Right.
But to say that same token, they never try to hold them to that standard because from their perspective, they're saying that the church is living off these people. Well, first of all, anybody who gives to the church gives voluntarily.
Exactly.
We don't charge a cover charge at the door.
Right. Right. Wow.
I mean,
wow.
We have ushers and greeters there, people to welcome you into the house. But we ain't patting nobody down. We're not charging no cover.
Right.
There is no bouncer that kicks you out before the service if you have not given.
Right.
And we're not checking. We're not checking tax statements. We're not down there.
Credit scores.
We're not credit scoring nobody. We're not garnishing nobody's check. We ain't doing none of that.
Mm-hmm.
But go in Walmart and try to pick up a pack of gum and walk out without paying.
Wow.
That ain't happening.
Right.
You're not going to get their product without paying for it.
Right. Wow.
Like you said, you're not going to the movies without paying for it.
Right.
You're not going anywhere and get any kind of service without paying for it.
Right.
And so that's the thing. But when they do that, that's always the quick thing that they want to turn on is the church. Because you're living off these people. Well, nobody's living off of anything.
Right.
This is what they're giving. And then they don't even understand all of the guidelines, the government guidelines that they have to go through, how they allocate those funds and what they do with those funds.
Right. And now let's take it to the music and the cultural implications, long-term cultural implications. So, I always say that what some of the stuff that's going on in our community right now. Okay, let's take Chicago for example.
Yeah,
Chicago, all the killing that goes on in Chicago. Okay. And you're talking about a lot of the other violence that's going on today. Even if you go for expanding it past this hip hop music, the rock music of the day and some of the killings that happens in the suburbs in white communities, I believe that's our children. What I mean by that is when we was bumping and grinding, when we was taking trips to the hotel and to the motel and to the Holiday Inn, when we was thugging and effing the police and all that, our children, those 90s babies, are the ones today who are doing a lot of this crazy stuff that we're seeing today. And I believe that the music and the culture of that time has birthed some babies that are now full-grown issues today. And I'm not talking about so much of the individual children, but I'm talking about the cultural climate within the generation. But the fathers of that time, many of us were listening and operating our lives in some cases in a culture, in a way culturally that was not successful, and that did not lead to a successful parental family and life. And I believe we're eating some of the fruits of that right now. But the music was a big part of that. So what do you think about the to that point of these different rappers, of these different musicians, these different types of music and what have you? How much credit do you give that to where we are today?
Well, this is something that most people don't recognize. And I heard a pastor say this probably a month or so ago, and it validated something that the Lord has showed me years ago. But I was listening to a message that I saw online, and it was a pastor, and I can't remember the pastor's name who said it, but he said, you got to recognize music is the only thing in the earth that was not created here.
Wow.
And he said, and he said, because of it, it's one of the most powerful forces in the earth. Wow. Because we realized that Satan was playing music in heaven, and he was cast down. So music was never created here. Music came from there. And music only has one purpose. It has the purpose that it was originally created. It was created for worship.
Right.
And so the only difference in music is the target of the worship. Its only purpose is worship.
Wow.
So the key is this. You have to pay attention. The only difference in music is the lyrics.
Right. That's right.
Yeah. Because people talk about music. Now, when you start thinking about music as a whole, and people say, well, can you really say that? Absolutely. Because what is gospel music but rhythm and blues?
Yeah.
With holy lyrics.
Right. Or rock. Our modern day praise and worship music. Israel Hart. Travis music, Green. That's rock music.
Christian music is rock music.
It's rock music.
With holy lyrics.
Holy lyrics. That's right. That's right.
Christian hip hop is nothing but hip hop music.
That's right.
With holy lyrics.
That's right. Right.
Like I said, and we have to understand that that's how this all came about.
Right.
And so music is exactly what it is. It's meant for worship. The target changes based on the lyrics.
Right.
And so when we have what we call bump and grind music,
right,
now the worship target becomes flesh.
Right. That's right.
So its purpose is to direct your heart.
Wow.
And so if you're not careful, what you're listening to will direct your heart, your desires. And the Bible says, guard your heart, for out of it flows the issues of life.
Right. Yes.
It's determining the issues that we have.
That's right.
And when he said it, I was like, man, this is so powerful. And we don't understand why our young people, the pregnancy rate is what it is. Listen to what they're listening to.
Right.
You and I were having this conversation a few weeks ago, just talking, as we always talk, about raising our kids. And we were talking about the headphone things. Those little earbuds have been outlawed in my house since my kids were old enough to even have something like that.
Wow.
They've never been allowed to have those. You've never been allowed in my house to walk around with those little things in your ear.
That's right.
Because if you're going to listen to music in my house, I need to know what you're listening to.
Right.
You can't be feeding on something and I don't know what you're eating. Because when you get sick, I need to be able to know what's wrong with you.
Can't diagnose it if you don't know what it is.
See, some people think, well, you being overprotective. No. How many of you would allow your children to just eat stuff in your house, and then all of a sudden, when they laying in the floor talking about their stomach hurt, or somebody saying that they got anaphylaxis, you're like, what did they eat? I don't know what's in here. I don't know what they had.
Right.
No, you're not going to be doing that. You bring the groceries in the house and allow them to eat because you know what they had to eat.
Right.
You don't just let them just go out and just wildly consume.
Right. And you know the nutritional, necessary nutrition that they need in their life.
Exactly. They can't just eat now laters and gummy bears for breakfast every day.
Wow.
So you have to monitor that stuff.
Right.
And we have to understand that. And the reason why I understood how important that was because, like you said, I was an old school hip hop head. all I ever listened to was hip hop.
Right.
Hip hop was what I grew up with.
Right.
See, I listened to two forms of music, and it was hip hop or it was slow music.
Right.
I was not the dance music type of guy.
Right.
I didn't do that. That didn't even suit me.
Right.
So I'm either listening to some hardcore hip hop, or
right.
I'm listening to something to get a girl.
Right.
That's where I was in the world. I had two agendas. Like I said, people say I'm a lover, not a fighter. I'm either loving or I'm fighting. One of the two. I had two extremes. I'm one way or the other.
Right.
Because I had no medium.
Right.
And for that reason, like I said, most of the time I ain't listening to no love music unless I got somebody with me.
Right.
So otherwise, I'm always listening to some hardcore stuff,
right.
so that if something popped off, I was always ready.
Right. Wow.
Now, watch this. When I got saved, of course, now I'm thinking, okay, I'm supposed to listen to gospel music, but this music doesn't even go with me because I don't like R&B music. So I would listen to it in church, but even then, it was almost like nails on the chalkboard for me.
Wow.
So I would listen to it and I would go through church, but then I just stopped listening to music altogether because I didn't understand why.
Right.
But how it dawned on me was even before I got saved, me and my wife were on a trip one day. We in the car, we riding. And so anytime she would go to sleep, that's when I would put my thug stuff on. Because she didn't listen to that. That wasn't her world.
Right.
And so she would go to sleep in the car. So I'm like, I put my riding stuff on there. So I'm riding.
Right.
Because, my mindset, I don't never know when something going to pop off. Somebody might ride past me, flip me off, something might pop. You never know. I always was on ready.
Right.
And so I'm riding. And so I remember she woke up one day. We were going on a trip somewhere. She woke up and she looked at me. She said, "Where are you?" And I'm looking at her like, we're not in that strange of a place. I mean, we're not in a different state. I'm like,
right.
Unless you just that disoriented, you know where we are.
Right.
And so I'm looking at her like, what you mean where I'm at?
Right.
I'm like, you know where we at? She said, no, where are you?
Wow.
And when she said it, it shocked me because I'm like, what are you talking about?
Wow. And
then I realized, she said, look at your face. And I'm sitting in the car because I'm sitting there like, I'm ready to get it.
Right. You
aggressive.
Yeah.
Oh man, I'm in that mode where I'm ready to do something.
Yeah.
And so at that point, that was the first time I realized that music altered my spirit. But I'm sitting there listening to stuff like Scarface.
Right.
And and the lyrics to Scarface is saying stuff like, a homicidal maniac, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
With suicidal tendencies.
Right.
I mean, he's saying stuff to me like that, and that's what I'm eating.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and so I'm eating that stuff and not realizing that it's affecting my spirit.
Yeah. When we would go to parties, and I remember one time we were going to this party and we was going to a party knowing we probably was gonna get into a fight, and we had NWA on.
Oh yeah.
So my pumping loud, like 4-5, riding 4-5 deep in the car, just and got to a party ready. Like if anybody say anything, stay together, something pop off, we ride together, we grind together. That was the whole mindset. But we got ready by listening to NWA, niggas with attitude.
Yep. And that was how we rocked back then.
Right.
Like I said, I was always strapped, always ready to pop off. So it was just like that was how we did it. And so once I got saved, it was like I can't listen to that stuff anymore.
Right.
So I stopped listening to music, period. Because I remember the first time somebody introduced me to what they call Christian hip hop, it was like the wackest thing I had ever heard. I don't even know who it was, but it sounded like some kids in the basement. And I'm like, ooh.
Yeah, I remember the first Christian rappers I saw was some cats. I was doing I'm not gonna call nobody's name. I'm not gonna tell you the state I was in. But I was in this state, and I never heard. I can't because I got saved coming straight out the world. I came straight from comedy clubs, regular world, and I got saved, and I kind of went in full steam, full speed ahead. So I started doing some Christian events. I never forget, it was like, yo, it's some rappers that, we got our very own Christian rappers, and these two dudes came out, they were talking about, it was this. And when they came out there, I was like, wow. I was like, they are horrible. I was like, and all the kids in the room thought they was horrible. Like the kids was like, what? The grown people's like, yeah, y'all do it, baby. And me and all the kids were like, this is hot garbage. Like, y'all, this is not cool. This is not.
Yes.
And I never forget it. But then I went on and began to see that there was a whole other world that I didn't know nothing about. But it was some excellent Christian gospel rappers out there.
Yeah, it was probably like 4 or 5 years in me being saved, listening to nothing.
Wow. Before,
like I said, my son in ministry introduced me to Lecrae and Trip Lee and, Flame and Truth. And I was like, yo, where these jokers been?
Right.
Because them other cats was sounding like some old CB4, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I'm like, dude, for real?
Right.
I'm like, straight out of low cash. I'm like,
right.
Yo, no.
Can't do it. Right.
No, I can't even think about that.
Right.
I mean, that doesn't even compute to me.
Right.
And it was like then that I realized that, I got some music I can listen to. And even now, that's all I listen to is Christian hip hop. And for me, it's even better, except when I'm working. I mean, I got worship music.
Of course.
I still don't listen to gospel music. I listen to either worship music or Christian hip hop because gospel music still irritates me.
Now, I got about 60 seconds left. So tell me this. As it pertains to the person who thinks that this whole conversation or this whole dialogue is unnecessary, that these brothers, whether that be T.I., whether that be Jay-Z, whether that be DJ Khaled, whether that be Diddy, just, hey, man, these cats is they making money and they doing their thing. They're entrepreneurs and they're good businessmen, which they are. But we should just be quiet and let them make their money. Even shouldn't be speaking on these brothers. What's your thoughts to that person?
My problem with it is this. If you can't let your kids listen to your music, why are you trying to feed it to mine?
Wow.
You sending your kids to private school, but you feeding that mess to our kids,
right? To
pay for your kids' private school education.
Wow.
And I've even heard these guys say, "Oh, well, I can't let my kids listen to none of this." I've seen comedians say that they can't watch none of these, they can't watch none of my movies.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like if that's the case, if my kids can't consume what I'm producing,
right,
then something's wrong with what I'm doing.
Right.
And that should be your check standard. That's how I check my living. If my kids can't go with me, if my kids can't open my refrigerator, if they can't ride in my car, then I ain't listening to what I ought to be listening to. I don't have the right stuff in my house.
Right.
Something is wrong with that picture.
Right. Wow.
And that's how we got to start. That's how we got to start governing our lives.
And at the end of the day, man, you have to be able to. I don't think there's anything wrong with holding people accountable. And man, good perspective, sir. That's why I want to have you on, as always. And thank you, sir.
If I can say one last thing.
Yes, sir.
There are so many great young Christian rap artists. I got a church full of young bloods.
Yeah.
That coming up that I would put out here and they would slay Jay-Z, 50 Cent, all these boys. And they hungry.
Right.
And they Christian artists, but people don't realize that Christian hip hop is a genre of excellence.
Right.
Because of that first experience that a lot of people had. And so people don't have respect for it.
Right.
Because the music industry, like we talked about in the Black Panther segment, people still think that we have had this diet. We've been force-fed this diet of trash so long that people have no respect for real art.
Right. You're right. And tell you guys, get ready, because we're doing an all Christian hip hop show. We're going to be talking about that very same thing. So, but thank you again, Pastor Tuck. Keep doing your thing, my friend.
Yes, sir. Anytime. And check us out in the Man Cave tonight.
That's right. Man Cave. Y'all, if y'all missed it on Tuesday, make sure y'all go to the My Church page, or if you have to be invited. Tell everybody tell somebody how they can be invited to the Man Cave, Pastor Tuck. Man Cave.
All you got to do is catch a friend that's already in the Man Cave. Let Ock know, message me, Ock, Brother David Pendergrass, any of the guys that are already in the Man Cave,
right? And
they can add you to the Man Cave. A man got to let you in.
That's right.
That's the only rule we got.
That's right.
Man got to let you in because he got to check your man card.
That's right.
We've had women try to sneak in before.
You're right. Come sneak in one, listen, see what we talking about.
Yeah. Amen.
All right, my friend.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Talk to you soon.
All right. Bless you, sir.
Bless you, sir. I love it. All right, y'all. The conversation continues, man. Hey. Oh. What's up, family? Hey, y'all. All right. Thank you, Pastor Lewis Tucker, My Church, Lynchburg, Virginia. The pastor of My Church, Lynchburg, Virginia. Great show. Hope I didn't offend nobody. I hope not. If I did, I ain't worried about it. That was cold. That was. But true. I mean, here's the thing. The dialogue needs to be had. If you are putting things out there should be a level of responsibility that goes along with it. And if I do a movie with some crazy stuff, I want y'all to hold me accountable. Real talk. Real talk. I've had to. Anyway, I'm not gonna relitigate the case. I think we talked about it, covered it big. Next week, my guests are Pastors Dexter and Jeanette Howard. They are the pastors of got the name of church. That's a shame. Got the name of the church in Fayetteville, Arkansas, and Charlotte, North Carolina. I'm sorry, I forgot the name of the church. But but they also are the leaders of Howard International Ministries, and they are having a House United, a marriage retreat in Charleston, South Carolina. I'll tell you more about that. I told you about that earlier. We'll talk about that more next week. But that's coming up next week. Please, if you're married and you getting married, that's a great show for you to check out. All right, I gotta get out of here and be back here next week. I'll be on the road this weekend. And like I gave y'all some dates earlier. Grab my keys. When I tell you I'm about to walk out the door. All right, family. Download the Free Thinkers Radio app, please. Get that in your phone so you can always get updates and get tagged with new information about the Free Thinkers Radio Network. Brand new website, brand new app. Check us out. Stay up on Free Thinkers Radio Network. I got to get out of here, family. I got some stuff to do. Got to get back in the office. Got to go pick up my son. Hey, real talk. That's the life of a grown man. Hey, let's get it in, family. I thank y'all for listening because you don't have to listen. You gave your time to us, and I appreciate you, everybody who hit us. Savannah, I saw you all representing the different cities. I appreciate you, all right? My head is out the door, so I need to go ahead and close the show. I'm about to go. How you saw with that little freestyle flow? I'm rhyming, y'all. Ooh, I ain't about to rhyme no more. So. Let me stop. Akintunde Show, the Grown Man Podcast. Thank y'all, family. Thank y'all, Darren Murphy, David Pendergrass, Miss Sarah, the whole crew in the back. And thank y'all for watching. Thank you, Pastor Lewis Tucker. Thank you, DJ Prince Ice. Thank you, DJ Dex. This is the Akintunde Show. I'm going to see y'all next week, family. I'm going to see y'all when I see y'all. Peace.